Ty, inflation is affecting everyone, especially when it comes to food prices. According to the Consumer Price Index, prices rose more than 12% compared with last year, and this increase outpaced overall inflation. Today I spoke with some consumers on how it's affecting their pocketbooks.
It's the food and the gas costs and the cost of living, it's making it very hard. I know we'll be better under Trump.
Why?
Because Trump is more manageable, he's got a better mind, and he know how to handle things.
Well, I'm a retired educator as well as my husband, and we're pretty able to handle it right now, but there are a lot of people that are not as fortunate as we are, that it is hitting them really hard, and I'm very worried about our economy and about our country.
Do you think the Inflation Reduction Act will actually reduce inflation?
No, I think it's going to increase taxes on the people where it hurts the most.
There you go. It's now law.
August 16th, President Biden signed the $740 billion Inflation Reduction Act, but according to a study put out by the Wharton Business School at the University of Pennsylvania, the act would have no meaningful effect on inflation in the near term and reduce inflation by 0.1 inflation points by the middle of the first decade. The White House says that it will lower prescription drug and health care costs. Deborah Randolph, president of the Central Louisiana Chamber of Commerce, said the act increases the minimum book tax, which will hurt businesses.
And our problem with that, including here in Central Louisiana, is about probably 15% of that tax is going to fall on manufacturers. So that's of great concern to us because we have a nice base of manufacturers here in Central Louisiana.
Randolph says that the act also has implications for the job market.
Well, certainly there can be a ripple effect from raising taxes on business and industry, but it could mainly choke their ability to grow, to add employees, to ratchet up operations, to expand.
There's also a lot in the act on funding clean energy like solar panels, wind turbines, and grid-scale battery plants, projects not directly related to inflation.
But one of them actually is beneficial to us here in Central Louisiana, and that is that there are incentives for carbon capture facilities. And of course, CLECO, headquartered here in Central Louisiana, is building a carbon capture facility up in Boyce.
But we're not there yet. Jerry Cripps, the manager of Max Fresh Market in Alexandria, says that fossil fuels are still playing a role in price increases.
Well, everything's going up, and a lot of it has to do with the price of gas. These companies that transport all our food and stuff, they're not going to absorb all that cost, so they have to pass it on to the consumers.
Specifically, the price of eggs and ground beef have gone up. The price of ground beef is 25% higher than it was the last 6 months, and eggs have increased 50% over the last year.
Okay, even though gas prices have risen and they've started to drop a little bit, they're not going to drop the prices of food because they've already set that price on it, so they're not going to come down on it.
Experts say all economic indicators point to a recession on the horizon. Reporting in Alexandria, Joel Massey, ABC 31 News that works for you.